From the redwood forest to the Gulf Stream waters, these songwriters will sing for you and me. Each one of our singer-songwriters today is part of the beating heart of American music and the tapestry of song and story that's been weaving us together for generations. And we're so glad to share that with all of you who are watching tonight. It's an opportunity to see the best of the best all at the same time. We want everyone out there in YouTube land to know that we're looking forward to sharing songs with everyone out there, as well as with each other here. And we look forward to learning a bit more about each performer and about their songwriting process through a short interview. We hope that you enjoy it as much as we do. You can see the lineup for tonight on the YouTube video itself. You can see it on Capo Dave's magic square. Yes, it's right there. And you could also see it if you go to our website, openamerica.com. And we'll be here for a couple hours tonight, give or take. First, let's introduce the team. We have TK Tran, who is our sound engineer, and he's at the switchboard operating all the switches. We have Capo Dave Williams, who will interview our performers, and he's also the founder of Open Mic America. And yours truly will be your MC tonight. And now let's introduce our performers just one by one, and they can wave for you when they hear their name. We have Chris Hanson from Nantucket, Massachusetts. We have Grover Duffield from Grove, Oklahoma. Vera Marie Bridges from Seaside, California. We have Andee Joyce from Portland, Oregon. We have Leonard Seligman from Eugene, Oregon. Rick Parnell from Vancouver, British Columbia. We have David Gross from Portland, Oregon. Cap Wilhelm-Safian from San Jose, California. And Charles Absher, and I hope I'm saying that right, Charles, from Avondale Estates, Georgia. Sadly, Jenny Lynn had to reschedule due to some family matters, and we look forward to seeing her again on January 16th or maybe even earlier. And now, without further ado, let the show begin. We're going to hear Chris Hanson from Nantucket, Massachusetts. Welcome to the show, Chris.
Hi everyone, can you hear me okay? Awesome. So yeah, Nantucket, a small island off the coast of Massachusetts. This first song I'm going to play for you is called I'm Thrown Into the Fire. What's this all about? When you called on the phone, you cried on the message ago. In a way, we won't run off together. You run and I'll stay, and I'll hunker down. Now I'm broke on the couch while my love leaves town. I'm like paper thrown into the fire again. Years ago, well, I took you home to meet my family and some people I love. We ran away and settled down. We'll go on the carpet. You pawned off your wedding gown. Some nights things got strange. With a bottle of excess, we flew into rage just like paper thrown into the fire again. Sometimes fog gets left on the glass, and I can see what you're up to at all, and I can make it out. Did your face have a smile, or were you hiding your doubts where you took me on? Then you ran from my mess, I burned, you're gone. I'm like paper thrown into the fire. Yeah, thrown into the fire again. No good time, I'll be older and aimless, free and shameless, with stories to tell. Oh, please lay me down in a bed draped with flowers, with friends all around. Yeah, I figured out there's no way of knowing the way it all turns out, just like paper thrown into the fire again.
Yeah.
Bravo.
All right.
Oh, nice.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you. This is such a treat. I can't wait to hear everyone else. I kind of wish I was middle of the list or later, so I can get inspired. I know I will be getting inspired later on, but this next song is called Detroit Soul. Forgotten steel, it rushed somehow. Now I set the wheels to turn the world around. I close my eyes and I see it now, and I whisper your name. There comes a time when the line shuts down, when all the moon parts hit the ground. I'm on the floor in a factory town, and I'm a-coming home to you. The gravel on the road crackled just sci-fi in the distance when we start our night. Working where the bright lights go, I have a pretty little girl with Detroit soul. There was a steel mill here in my father's town, now making shiny cars on a Detroit line. The union broke and the work is gone, and I walk like everyone. Our blood is drawn at a local bar as we wither on a branch of fallen jobs. It all comes down to the truth. When the jobs start leaving, she's leaving too. The gravel on the road crackles just sci-fi in the distance when we stop our train. Where did all the bright lights go? I made Michigan cars with Detroit soul. I hear, oh, no, 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 no. She puts her coat on like nothing's wrong. She turns the engine over, she's moving on. It's my hometown and I'm feeling lost, and the pills they start to cross. There comes a time when the line shuts down, when all the moving parts to the ground, and on the floor is your wedding gown. Yeah, I once had it all. The gravel on the road crackles just sci-fi in the distance when we stop our train. Where did all the bright lights go? I made Michigan cars with Detroit soul. I had a pretty little girl with Detroit soul. Oh, well, I had it all.
Very nice.
Oh, yeah.
Bravo.
Good songs.
Great songs. And I forgot to say, Chris, that you like to play at the Great Hall in Nantucket. So
Yes.
they're lucky over there to hear you.
Oh, thank you. It's a
Amazing.
small place, but a nice hall to play in.
Wonderful, wonderful. So before you interview, can I spend a minute correcting a terrible mistake that I made in our introductions?
Oh, yes, please.
I overlooked Kerry Keane. So Kerry Keane, wave, and he will be number 3 and from Kent, Ohio, right? Okay, there we go. Back to Chris Hansen and his 2 awesome songs. That was a great way to start, Chris, and we'll
Thank
hand you
you.
over to Dave Williams.
All right.
Hi, Chris. Couple of great
Hey, Dave.
numbers. I enjoyed those.
Thank you.
Take us back. Your earliest memory of songs when you were very small. The first song or songs that made an impression on you that made you say, "Oh wow."
Oh, wow. You
You said,
know,
"Oh wow" now.
yeah, I did. There are all these songs that came rushing in.
Way
But
back.
yeah, I think one of my fondest memories was like a John Denver tune. I think Country Roads. My parents, it's just one of those songs that just stuck with me. Or it hit me when I was a kid, and it was the first time I listened to folk music.
How old were you then?
Oh gosh, like 5 or 6, I think.
Okay.
That was their
Okay.
John Denver phase.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. How about when you started to play in front of people? Take us back to the first time you played in front of people that you can remember and talk a little bit about what that was like.
Oh wow, yeah. You know, the first time my brother and I used to throw these little parties when my parents were away, and this was there's playing in front of people, like singing when you're like 5 or 6, but it never made an impression on me. But I think when I was about 13, 14, I remember blowing on a harmonica while my brother played guitar, and there was just a circle of teenagers around us, and we were just like, I was blowing the harmonica, he was playing his guitar, some people were playing some hand drums, and it was so much fun. And I think
Well,
that was the
pretty
first
good.
time where I was like, oh, I'm performing for everyone right now.
Thanks
Yeah.
for sharing that with us. We're going to move on. Thank you, Chris.
All right,
Great
thanks.
songs.
Thank you.
I love that story. I used to put on plays with my cousins and sell tickets for the plays that had music in them when we sang for my parents and uncle and aunt. Oh gosh. Well, thank you, Chris. And now we're going to go to our friend Grover Duffield. Welcome back to Open Mic America, Grover. Grover has told us that he doesn't play in any open mics right now, but he does veteran benefit shows for soldiers, songs, and voices, which is a wonderful thing to do. So, Grover, you can unmute yourself and take it away for us.
Okay, thank you. It's glad to see everybody out there. Glad you all came to listen. Chris Hansen was amazing. This is my first song. It's called Country Girl. I actually wrote this for my wife. Sun coming up over a clear blue sky. She gets out of bed to start her new day. She looks at her love, sleeping so peacefully, padding out of the room, goes on her way. When she grew up, she lived life much differently. Streets of New York is where she would play. She lived her life just for the moment, careless and free, people would say. Sweet country girl, beautiful country girl, stay with me, wild and free. Sweet country girl, beautiful country girl, doing as she please, right beside searched everywhere, not knowing what she'd find from coast to coast or across the sea. She never found what she was looking for, searching for love, a love that was free. Then one day, on a windy old farm, she got a glimpse of a life that could be. Out in the plains, out in the fields, out on this farm, right beside me. Sweet country girl, beautiful country girl, stay with me, wild and free. Sweet country girl, beautiful country girl, doing as she please, right beside me. Sweet country girl, beautiful country girl, stay with me, wild and free. Sweet country girl, beautiful country girl, doing as she please, right beside me.
Good one.
Ooh.
Yeah, bravo.
Thanks.
Your wife must have loved that.
I'd never written a song for a girl before. It kind of took me by surprise. This is kind of a dark song. I've been trying to think what I was going to play for a couple of days, and I got a bunch to choose from, but I really like this one. I call this The Silence. Let's see. Nope. I wake up Sunday morning, light shining in my room. First cup of coffee, the world looks tattered and blue. I have everything I need, I'm luckier than most. But deep inside my mind, I'm tortured by a ghost. Strangled by the silence, I guess it's by design. Keeps me trapped and broken inside my troubled mind. No one sees a sign. Wife does the best she can. My kids, it's hard to tell. I hang out with my father, he has had quite a spell. He misses my sweet mother, she hid our secrets well. Till my younger brother's demons drug them both through hell. Strangled by the silence, I guess it's by design. Keeps me trapped and broken inside this troubled mind. No one sees a sign. Face my demons daily, cut deeper than a show. If you look behind the eyes, where all hurt runs cold, damage from days gone by holds me like a stone. Though quitting would be easier, I must carry on. strangled by the silence. I guess it's by design. It keeps me trapped and broken inside my troubled mind. I'm strangled by the silence. I guess it's by design. It keeps me trapped and broken inside my troubled mind. Please see the sign.
Oh,
Wow.
thank you, Grover. Bravo. There's a lot to think about in there.
A lot to unpack.
Yes, thank you so much.
Grover, I love your songs. That the fact that they're personal. You really you lay it out there, stuff that's really going on in your life. But I want to ask you. I know that you were in the Marine Corps way back when, and were you playing music before the Corps, after the Corps, during the Corps?
All of the above.
All of the above. Well, what was it like as a Marine? Did you play any? What kind of?
Mostly just played around the barracks with other guys, you know.
So you would
Somebody
jam in
always
the
had a
barracks.
guitar. We'd sit in the common bathroom because the acoustics were really good, and we'd play old Neil Young songs and Crosby, Stills and Nash and James Taylor.
You didn't have any one of those drill sergeants that would come in and scream at you when you were doing that stuff, or
First lieutenant,
first lieutenant? Yeah.
but
Okay.
all things pass.
So you got out of the Corps, and you were obviously playing music. Did you? What type of venues were you playing? Where were you playing when you were playing out?
I was playing open mics in New Orleans. I played some open mics. I played some open mics in Santa Barbara. Played Southwest Kansas, Texas Panhandle, places through there. I spent a lot of time up around Aspen and played everywhere from Aspen through Basalt, Carbondale up to Redstone.
So
Willett
you,
Springs.
you've been to a bunch of open mics. So that makes me. I have also been to a bunch of different open mics, and I have very definite ideas about what makes a great open mic. I'm very fortunate to live in Portland, where we have the Artichoke, which is excellent. David Gross will tell you about that too.
Well,
But I
I've,
wanted to ask you, what in your mind, what makes a great open mic? What are the characteristics of an open mic that is exquisite for you?
There's like two of them: a good sound system and a person to run it. Keep politics out of it, keep religion out of it. If you want to come in and do whatever you want to come in and do it, but you show the other artists respect. If you can get into the audience where the other artists show you respect, it is all good. If you go places and they don't know you and they just actually don't show you respect, you probably don't need to play there, because they've got a set group of people and they're not going to look anywhere outside of their set group of people. You know, they form little cliques, a clique-free place.
I share your beliefs. I was at an open mic once in Tucson where they had 3 pool tables right in front of the stage, and they were playing pool during the open mic. When I said something about it, they looked at me like, yeah. So anyway, I
Open
share
mics
your.
in restaurants and pool halls generally don't work.
Thanks, Grover. We'll see you
Thank
next
Dave.
time.
Yeah.
Thank you so much again, Grover. And now let's go to Kent, Ohio, to hear from Kerry Keane. And Kerry Keane told us that he likes to play at a place called Last Exit in Kent, Ohio. I love the name of that place, and if I ever go visit there, I am going to go check it out. So, Kerry, you look great. Take the stage. Take it away for us.
Thanks, Daphne. And I should probably tell you, I get mistaken for girls all the time, so don't feel bad about it. When I was a young guitarist, it's been a couple of years ago, more than anything else, I wanted to learn to play the blues and play it well. And so this is a talking blues that's not really a blues, but it's about playing the blues. So we'll see where that goes. It's called Playing the Blues. Oh, I forgot. This is playing the song about the blues. I got to get into character here. Well, I was rolling home tight one Saturday night, kind of bouncing from wall to wall. I stepped into an alleyway to answer nature's call. Well, I heard a sound, a guitar sound, kind of dirty and fat and sweet. So I followed it down the alleyway to a doorway off the street. It was dark and dim, but I went on in. I was cutting something strong. I looked around until I found the source of that siren song. There were two old men sitting up on the stage. They made a magical sound. One played guitar, another one sang, and the music went round and round. Well, I started to bop, I just had to stop and wipe away a little tear. 'Cause they were playing the blues like it ain't been played in years. I must have made a sound 'cause they looked around and they saw me standing there. In my grungy clothes, I was nobody's rose as I shook back my long, stringy hair. But they kept on playing, I kept on staying. I was totally mesmerized. After a while, I saw the singer smile. There was a twinkle in his eyes. It wasn't too long, they finished that song and the man put his guitar down. He said, "Boy, you seem like you lost in a dream. What you doing in this part of town?" So I looked around. It was an older crowd. None of them looked like me. But it felt so right standing there that night. It was where I needed to be. I said, "Sir, you don't know me, but I'm hoping you'll show me how to play the things I hear. 'Cause you were playing the blues like it ain't been played in years." Well, he smiled again, and just about then the singer disappeared. When he came back again, in his hands he held 3 bottles of beer. So the three of us sat, talked about all that, about lightning and the wolf and the kings, how the music borrows from a deep well of sorrows and it eases the pain when you sing. We talked about words and we talked about chords. We talked about how it should feel. They listened to me as I made my plea. How can I keep it real? But mostly I listened to what I've been missing. I learned a lot that night about how the blues, like an old pair of shoes, fits better if it ain't too tight. And it felt so right, it was almost like I had a different set of ears. And we were playing the blues like it ain't been played in years. Yes, they were playing the blues like it ain't been played in years. Oh, thank you.
Nice.
What a great song.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that. We'll move right along to something different here. Teddy Roosevelt is one of my heroes, one of my big heroes, really. He got a lot to thank him for: conservation, trust busting, distrust of big money, all kinds of good things. But he made a speech in 1910 that's pretty well known. It's called "The Man in the Arena," and that inspired this song. This is called "Lose or Win." lose or win. You can never go back again, but there's a part of you still living in all the places you have been, bad or good. All the deeds that you have done, all the songs that you have sung, they will all come round again, for bad or good, lose or win. Well, life's a game, and we're just here to play. It's all the same. If you look at it that way, you can hold yourself above it and never feel the pain. But the sunshine don't mean nothing if it never rains. Lose or win, you can never go back again, but there's a part of you still living in all the places you have been, bad or good. All the deeds that you have done, all the songs that you have sung, they will all come round again, for bad or good, lose or win. Behold the man, bloodied, bowed and beaten, but he took a stand, so he will never be defeated. His place will never be with those who fear to risk it all, who only stand and watch and criticize the ones who fall. And I had our chance in this life, you and I, but we never got it right. We walked right past each other and the words just fell apart. We never learned to listen with our hearts, lose or win. We can never go back again, but there's a part of us still living in all the places we have been, bad or good. All the deeds that we have done, and all the songs that we have sung, they will all come round again, for bad or good, lose or win.
Well done.
Yeah.
Well done.
Nice song.
Such a well-written song. Oh my!
Thank you. Appreciate
Thank
that.
you so much.
Thank you.
Dave, you're gonna question Kerry, huh?
Well, he said Teddy Roosevelt. That's one of my heroes, too.
Right, I was thinking that.
And Daphne knew that right away. I was going to jump on that. Kerry, what's the story about the time he gave the speech? And I'm trying to remember. He got shot.
Well, I think he got shot at. No, he did get shot one time. That's right. That was a different speech. That was not the one that I was referring to in this. He lived quite a life. I mean,
He got shot, and
amazing
the
character.
bullet went. The speech was in his breast pocket,
That's right. That's right.
and the speech took most of the impact of the
Impact
bullet,
of
but
it
the bullet
saved
went
him.
in his
Probably
chest, and he gave the speech anyway.
Probably saved his life. Yeah.
That's the kind of guy
I'd
he
forgotten
was.
that story. There's so many amazing stories about him. I'd forgotten that one. This one, the one that the song was about, was, I mean, it's a long, really long speech. It was in Paris in 1910. But the part of it that really jumped out probably at everybody, which is why it's so well known, is that the part of it that's known as the Man in the Arena, where he talks about all the honors are due not to the critics who stand by the side, who never get into the arena and get bloody, but those who get in and try and do their best, and whether they win or lose. And I mean, that's where that song came from.
He was an amazing guy. Let me ask you, if you had to name the best solo performer that you can think of, one man, a guitar, sing, play, of all the people you've seen live or dead or whatever, somebody that you say this guy was in my view who had the most of the best of everything.
Wow. Who did I see? You're asking a lot of an old man's memory here. I saw somebody just recently that I was super. Oh, Daryl Scott. And I was.
Yeah.
I mean, it's hard to pick out one person, but one thing I didn't know. I'd heard some of Daryl's songs, and in fact, I have a CD of him and Tim O'Brien, another one of my favorite performers and songwriters. But the two of them playing together, and it's a great album. But what I didn't realize was what an excellent guitarist he is. His control of the dynamics and how cleanly he plays, and what absolute control, mastery of the fingerboard he has, just blew me away. He came and played in Kent just a couple weeks ago at the Kent stage. It's another one of my favorite places to play when I get a chance. And he was just amazing. So I guess I'd land on Daryl. Go see him every time I get a chance.
And how about in your early days of playing, a memory of your first time playing in front of people, what it was like, what it felt like, where it was, what the people were like?
Well, let's see. I think the first time, I remember I played, my first group was and probably pretty much the first actual performances were with a Peter, Paul, and Mary copy trio that we had. That was, we did harmonies and all that. But before that, the very first performance I ever was involved in was for some friends at a party with a band of sorts, that myself and a bass player and a drummer and a singer. And believe it or not, we all the three of us plugged into an old Gibson Explorer amp that was probably a legitimate 20 watts, and we the singer plugged a microphone in, my guitar went in there, and the bass player went in there too. And of course we couldn't keep up with the drummer, not even close, but we played at this party for friends, and that was pretty wild. That's the first one I can think of that I can remember.
Thanks for those memories and those great songs. Thanks, Kerry.
Thank you. Hey, this is not your average open mic. I think this is great. I'm glad you guys are doing this, and thanks for inviting me.
No, it isn't. You're all really special, and we really like spending time with you here. So thank you, Kerry. And now, welcome back to Andee Joyce. Andee has told us that she likes to play in several places. Influence Music Hall, which I believe is now virtual. Andee Joyce is from Oregon, from Portland, Oregon. And its Influence Music Hall is in Hillsboro, Oregon. The Songwriters Soiree, which also went virtual, and someplace called Sanctum Psychedelic, which I can't even quite imagine what that looks like, but I love
It's quite an event.
I'm guessing it is. And now Andee is going to play for us. You have the stage, Andee.
Thank you so much, Daphne. I'm really blown away by everybody I've heard so far. In fact, this song is actually about being, trying not to be intimidated by other people and their talent, and about perfectionism, and because it's interesting. When I first started doing this seriously, like maybe 4 or 5 years ago, I would just be like so paralyzed by, oh, what if I mess up? What if I mess up? Oh God, I'm gonna mess up. It's like now I'm like, I mess up, and it's like, oh, okay, I messed up. It's a new song, give me a break. So it's like, I've learned to tell people when it's a new song, expect me to goof it up. So this is called Uncrushed. Someone's gotta be the best or the prettiest. Everything these days is a contest, I guess. But my happiness comes from making a happy mess. That's how I got to my yes, 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 yes. What if there were no charts, no tiny red hearts, no such thing as a following? What if there was no pitch perfection and rejection was protection? What would you want to sing? They crushed you under their snowshoes, but you didn't die. Maybe crushing everything ain't why you're still alive. What if you didn't have to blow the room away with your skill? What if you're a flower? Well, flowers don't kill. Ask me how I know. No, don't crush it, don't smash it if you want it to live. If only someone had told you that when you were a kid. Oh, don't crush it, don't stomp it, don't kill it with fire. You ain't milk about to expire, so don't let yourself be rushed. Laugh when they say you're too much. Have a brain trust you can trust. And one day you'll look up and there you'll be, uncrushed. Uncrushed. Yeah, I learned to be the angel on my own shoulder. That girl that told me I was well, I hardly know her. They twisted her until she finally broke when they bet her. They never really saw her. They had their agenda. Gotta be the best, be the prettiest. Gotta marry up, gotta win that love. Well, it made me sick not to have music, even if I sucked, never made a buck. Messed up a lot, but I couldn't stop. Sing again and again, made some great friends, start getting it right. Must say in my life, maybe others too, with my point of view. But even if the only heart I ever won was mine, well, you want to know something? I'd be doing fine. Just do what you do, never mind if it's crushed. If you just gotta try it, that's reason enough. Let them hear ya, let me hear ya, let everybody hear you. Ow! Let you hear yourself. Ow! 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 Don't crush it, don't smash it if you want it to live. If only someone had told you that when you were a kid. Oh, don't stop it, don't crush it, don't kill it with fire. You ain't milk about to expire, so don't let yourself be rushed. Laugh when they say you're too much. Have a brain trust you can trust. And one day you'll look up and there you'll be, uncrushed, uncrushed. Yeah, one day you'll look up and there you'll be. Ain't gonna be out. Say it with me on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Uncrushed. Thank you.
Uncrushed.
Wow!
Hey.
Crushed it!
I made one mistake. I'm not going to tell you where it was.
They don't care.
Exactly. You know, it's funny. It's like I tell people when they first start, I was like, oh, I messed this up and I messed that. You know what? If it's an original song, nobody knows. Unless they've heard your song at least 30 times, they're not going to know you messed it up. And even if they do notice, they'll be like, oh, you played it differently that time. It's really kind of been an eye-opener for me. So my second song is, I wrote this during a week in the summer where I just kind of felt like nobody was really hearing me and nobody really understood me. It's like I'm on the autism spectrum, and the thing about the social and emotional reciprocity, that kind of runs on both tracks. It's like autistic people often don't hear us either. They don't understand, they don't understand what we're trying to tell them. And so But when I'm in a situation like that, I try to write something that is fun that will cheer me up. So this is called Everybody Do the Impossible. Oh, I want to throw a dance party for people in wheelchairs, even if nobody cares, except the people in the wheelchairs. We all move what we move when we move it, and we don't have to prove it, but it feels like everyone but me knows the choreography. I wish I had a dance partner. Would that just make it harder? Shuffle, ball, change, elbow, nose, pavement. Well, they'll figure out what the they meant. Everybody do the impossible. There are no steps. Everybody do the impossible. There is no floor. How long have I been doing the impossible? Beats me, but I sure am sore. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. I still don't want your cure, no. Amuna bailamos imposible. And it goes like this. Fall into a flaming hoop. Behave badly in a group. Fall into a flaming hoop. Behave badly in a group. Have meltdowns in a girl's quadruple. Like the former nincompoop. The only words out of my mouth are bleep, bloop, boop, shoop, shoop. Oops, ah, no one. With no one pretty to lead us, will anyone believe us? You said you'd popular, so I'd be invited to parties. But not that kind of party. You said get beautiful, so I could have a boyfriend. Not that kind of boyfriend. I'm so tired, but my mind is a kitten with the zoomies. So give me a hook and I'll crochet a zoo for you. Full of amigurumis, I went to war with my body and my body won. Now my body's one to me and it's a tub thumping drum. Ooh, everybody do the impossible. There are no steps. Everybody do the impossible. There is no floor. How long have I been doing the impossible? Beats me, but I sure am sore. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. I still don't want your cure. No.
Nice.
Did you notice you had a countdown in both songs?
Hey. Did I? Okay.
Yeah. Oh my
Oh
God.
yeah, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, that's right. The end.
Yeah, you're so alive, Andee. You're just so alive. My goodness.
Thank you. It's fun to do that one, actually.
It's fun to hear it
Thank you.
and watch it.
Great songs, Andee.
Thank you so much, Dave.
First question. What's your favorite color? I already know it.
All of them. All of them, Katie.
Every time you're on the show, you have the purple background, and when people look at our recorded
true.
shows, you can always tell where
Yeah.
Andee's playing.
I kind of give that away, don't I?
Okay, next question. Single performer that has most influenced you, male or female?
Oh, yeah.
Single performer and then favorite band of all times.
Oh, boy. Single performer would probably be Laura Nero, who I think, I think most of us here are old enough to know who Laura Nero was, but people under the age of 50 don't know who she was, generally speaking, unless they're like students of songwriting history. But she was like a pioneer, and just the chords she came up with, it's like the way her voice kind of wove around everything, the way she kind of painted with words and stuff. It just blew my mind. She was a real pioneer. It's like I hear people who were influenced by her, and then I mention her to them, and they're like, "Oh, I have no idea who that is." Well, Laura Nero was such a pioneer that other songwriters were inspired by her. So even if you haven't heard her, you have.
And favorite band of all times?
Oh, geez. Oh, that's not. Oh, God. Do I have to? Sly and the Family Stone. Okay, I'll throw that out.
All right. I'm going to let you off the hook with that. Thanks so much, Andee. You were great.
Oh, sure. Thank you.
Wow, Andy. I always know that we're going to get some excitement when you're on this show.
She's a live wire.
Yes, and
thank you so much.
uplifted, always uplifted as well. So
Well, thank you. I'm glad to hear that.
thank you for that. And next, we are going to go to Eugene, Oregon to hear Len Seligman. Len is evidently new to Eugene, Oregon, and he would like to tell us a little bit about open mic he played in, or a venue he played in Florida, when he was living on the Gulf Coast, and that would be called the Florida Folk Club. So I've
Yeah,
never
that-
heard of that.
Sarasota Folk Club from Sarasota, Florida.
Oops.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, I had a following in the D.C. area where I used to live, and then in Florida, and now in the middle of a pandemic, I released an album and moved to Eugene, and no one knows who I am here, but it's nice to see a couple of other Oregonians here, and I'm looking forward as things open up to start gigging again and stuff. I mean, I'm doing a little bit of virtual stuff, but like real gigs.
Yeah,
Anyway.
well, you're real to us, so take it away, Len.
Yeah, well, this is a total real gig. Absolutely. All right, here we go. Tonight, the subject is love. Tonight, the subject is love. No better thing to talk about till we die. I melt every time you walk by. I feel my heart grow as big as the sky. Tonight, the subject is love. Tonight, the subject is joy. Tonight, the subject is joy. My guru has a cold, wet nose, wags his tail. Wherever he goes, he taught me my favorite yoga pose. Tonight, the subject is joy. Spread good vibes throughout the atmosphere. I have no doubt love is why we're here. Oh, you know it is. Okay, dancing now. Crawl down on the floor with me, let's play. Let's not let this moment slip away. Tonight, the subject is love. Tonight, the subject is love. Grateful for the things I cannot buy, like a million stars in a cloudless sky. I might fall down 'cause I feel so high. Tonight, the subject is love. Sing it with me. Tonight, the subject is love. Oh yeah. Tonight, the subject is love. Everybody, tonight, the subject is love. Yeah, yeah. All right. Yeah, yeah. All right. Tonight, the subject is love.
And you clap. You can't be on it.
Wow, what an upper. That's
Nice.
fantastic.
Thank you so much.
Nice. Love
Thank you. So that was a tune from this album, which is a new album of mine, and I want to do the title track, Our Turn Now, which I wrote this after I did a personal pilgrimage to Selma, Alabama, where I stood on and walked across the Edmund Pettus Bridge, where John Lewis was nearly beaten to death fighting for the rights of all. And the fight goes on. Jimmy Lee Jackson, back from Vietnam. In desperate times, he dared to hope. In Marion, Alabama, mid-1960s, a black man could not vote. There was a peaceful protest. The police attacked his grandpa and mom. Jimmy tried to defend them. The cops shot and killed him. He was unarmed. The people said enough. We won't let Jimmy die in vain. They started a march to Montgomery, 50 miles on foot in his name. The marchers were gassed and beaten on national TV. Millions raised their voices, saying everyone should be free. It's our turn now, our turn now. They showed us how. It's our turn now. Come and join us, we will rise, we will vote and organize. They showed us how. It's our turn now. The marchers arrived in Montgomery, met by a jubilant crowd. 50,000 black and white, their voices clear and loud. They overcame despair. They bravely took a stand, and a law was passed protecting voting rights across the land. And it's our turn now, our turn now. They showed us how. It's our turn now. Come and join us, we will rise, we will vote and organize. They showed us how. It's our turn now. And organize. They showed us how. It's our turn now, our turn now.
Oh, yeah.
Wonderful.
It's righteous.
And that is an
Testify.
anthem. That's an anthem, Len.
Thank you so much.
My goodness.
Thank you.
Len, I love those songs. And the second song, will you tell us clearly what is the title of that? Our
It's
Turn
called
Now?
Our Turn Now, yes.
Okay. I wonder if you have an opinion about this. It seems like years ago, broadside songs like that were common. And that sort of went away. It seems like music became commercial, and the only folks singing songs with social message are the rappers. So I wonder if you have an opinion about where that went.
Well, actually, it's still there. It's still here. There's a lot of great songwriters writing just incredible music, and some of it with a social justice theme and a theme. I'm not really a political songwriter, although I go there occasionally. I'm more, I'm motivated by spiritual concerns, and so, but interconnectedness of all life. But you can't be committed to interconnectedness of all life without, being involved in politics in some sense. But anyway, I think those songwriters, those great songwriters, are still there. You just have to hunt for them. It's not what's most popular right now.
It's one of my hopes for Open Mic America is to provide a platform for more of that at a national level than there has been in the past, because commercial interests, they're not going to put that stuff out.
No, that is true. You might check out, if you're interested, there's a thing called the People's Music Network. If you Google People's Music Network, there's a lot of great songwriters working on that. And then I'm part of an organization called Face the Music, which is a collection of there's some really fine songwriters involved, that are doing social justice and other kind of music like that. Anyway, sorry.
On a personal note,
don't mean to ramble on here.
I see a keyboard back there, and I want to ask you, what's your process for writing songs? Is it melody first, or lyrics first, or a little bit of both? Share with us your process.
So I don't have a consistent process. I mean, it's sometimes, lots of times there'll be a phrase or something that'll just be out in the ether, or I'll come across it, and that little phrase will inspire me to write a song. So, and so I guess most typically lyrics come first and then music later. But then once in a while, I love a lot of world musics, and sometimes I'll just listen to like a West African groove or like New Orleans funky thing or something like that. And I'll just be like, oh my God, I just love this so much. I need some words. But yeah, typically lyrics come first.
Well, we've got your website is published on Open Mic America's website. So folks that would like to get in touch with you or get access to your work, they can find that on Open Mic America. And thanks so much for those songs. Those are two terrific songs.
Well, thanks so much. And I'm like I mentioned, I'm new to Oregon, and so I'm really looking to reach out to some of the other Oregon folks, other Pacific Northwest folks, and so you can find me on Facebook if you want to connect.
Very good.
Or my
so
website.
Much,
thanks so much.
Thank you.
Great, and thank you for organizing this. What a beautiful event.
Wow, the hook from your song, the second one, is still ringing in my ears. It stuck. Thank you. And I bet you could send a direct chat to anybody here from Oregon if you want to get their information, and they'd probably be happy to connect with you. And speaking of connecting, just before our next performer, everybody who has any kind of online presence at all can be from the show can be found on our website. So if you want to hear more of anyone's music, you can go to our website and look up the performer, and then there's a link to wherever it is that you can hear or see more of them. So we hope you all do that. And now, without any more chit-chatting, we're going to go to our first performer from Canada, I believe. This is Rick Parnell from Vancouver, British Columbia, and he likes to play at a place called Trees Coffee over there. So Rick, take it away.
Thank you. Trees Coffee House. Call out to Mark D'Souza, who runs that, and hopefully we'll be getting some live performances there sometime soon. I was surprised. I wondered if I was the first Canadian. I think you might have to change the name to Open Mic North America or Open Mic International. I don't know. Anyway, it's great. It's great to be asked, and I appreciate it. I try to hold on, know that it can't wait. As soon as I enjoy it, the moment is gone. Knowing we'll part, I'm already missing you. Is that the sky, or has the sun succumbed? I've got no reason beyond this rhyme. What you're doing to me now, that's a perfect crime. Took from each other, and I can't get back now. Is that the sky, or all the blues falling too somehow? Same as it always was. The past makes a perfect love. If it wasn't so damn warm outside, I'd be chilled by these blues. I let go of everything the moment we met. If there's no future, what meaning has it then? Such beauty seeks and always fresh again. The sky should be gray, but the blues have the hope on the haze. Now I don't blame you for turning me away. We can both see clearly by the light of this summer's day. And I may call you when the winter cold draws near. And the sky has lost all color, and the blues captured their last tear. Same as it always was. The past makes a perfect love. And if it wasn't so damn warm outside, I'd be chilled by these blues. I'd be chilled by these blues. So chill by these blues.
All right.
Very nice.
Yeah.
This next song is about family transitions, family breakdowns, and kind of the nonsense that we cling to when it's happening. Anyway.
sun. We won't know who we are till the night is done. Hide behind miles and broken calls. He who climbs highest for the falls. And I don't know what you see in the night. I'm looking past you, I can't find light. Blackbird in a window, it seems just out of sight until dawn. That's at the front door, porch lights on. Music is playing, sun's nearly gone. Sun's nearly gone. Sun's nearly gone. Won't be back until the dawn.
Oh gosh,
And rolling.
that was a powerful song and message, Rick. Wow.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Wow.
Okay, Rick, you're on the spot now.
Okay.
As a youngster, were there people in your family, your neighborhood, people that you knew that played live music that influenced you, that you were around? Talk about that if that was going on.
That's actually an interesting question. I don't think anybody has asked me before, and the answer is no. there was my family there were a lot of artists, but no performers to speak of.
That
And
sounds like my family.
yeah, and while everybody in the neighborhood, or most people had musical instruments, there wasn't a lot of playing and singing going on. I didn't pick up a guitar myself until I was finished university. So there was nobody growing up.
So your first guitar, what was that like? Do you remember?
Yeah, it was painful. I got it after university, and it was the first one I had was actually a rental because I wasn't sure I was going to keep doing it, and it was terrible. The strings, far from the fret, and my fingers were bleeding, and it was terrible.
They rented guitars?
It was a rental guitar. I took some thought I'd rent a guitar and take some lessons. The lessons didn't last long, and neither did the rental guitar. And I went out and bought my first one.
And what about early influences, singer-songwriters, musicians that you heard that got you excited about playing?
Yeah, that's really the root. I mean, that's another great question. That is really the root. The first time actually that I was ever told that I was singing was imitating Louis Armstrong on the radio. So far from I still love Louis Armstrong. I still listen to him quite a bit, but I can't call him an influence. But I think definitely the Beatles, Bob Dylan, those early 60s and 70s, that early 60s, 70s music sound is kind of where I get most of my drive from.
Thanks for sharing that with us, and thanks for your songs, Rick.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you, Rick, and thank you for being our first Canadian.
Yeah,
Dave,
thank you.
take
Yeah.
note of what Rick said, huh? Oh, that was wonderful. And now we're going to go back to the United States of America, to Portland, Oregon. And we have David Gross. And David plays at the well-known and beloved Artichoke up in Portland, Oregon. I've even been there before, David. I don't even live there. And so now you have the stage and take it away.
Thank you very much. I want to get this in here. This is called White Bread. My soul is so hungry, like it never been fed. I've been praying for manna from heaven, getting white bread instead. White bread. Trail of broken promises started on that day when a man on TV told me white bread was building my body 12 ways. That's what he said. I grew up on white bread. Then one day I learned that its value was all in my mind. All of my hunger returned. My hunger returned. Now we look around us and wonder what is real. If you cannot believe things you've been taught, can you trust what you feel? Can you trust what you feel? Every soul is searching, crying to be fed. Yeah, we're praying for manna from heaven. We're getting white bread instead. White bread.
Yes, indeed.
Beautiful. Loved it.
Wow.
Nice, David.
Amazing.
That's beautiful.
Good song.
I want to say it's
Beautiful.
really fun to hear people I think, and most likely I would never hear in my whole life because the distance and things like that. And we all know how hard it is to get the big commercial success. It's, there's millions of great songwriters all over the place. And this is a wonderful way for us to kind of get to know each other a little bit. I thank you so much for having me here.
We're glad you're here, and you hit the nail on the head. Yeah.
This is called There Are Winds. It's kind of like a friendship song. There are winds which fill the fabric of the robes that cloak your soul, and while they're billowing and rolling from a gust of love, your light shines out and dash. My heart knows the cold. I have known you well and all. Your vines grown fast upon my wall. There's been times when it is difficult to stand against the wind, although we know it must keep blowing, bringing in the changes that cut so beautiful across the grain. We have known them well and all. Your vines grown fast upon my wall. And there are times you can go blind and almost stumble off your road, but it is then you find out a little more about your friends. Like, do they know which way you're going and send you on again? You have known me well and all. Your vines grown fast upon my wall. You have known me well and all. Your vines grown fast upon my wall.
Well, lovely.
Gross, nicely done.
Nice.
Oh, pretty.
Awesome, dude.
You write such luscious poetry, David. That was just.
I'm sorry, I can't hear you.
I said you write luscious poetry.
Thank you so much. It's so nice of you.
Wonderful songs, David. I love your vines grow well upon my wall. Was that
Well,
right?
fast.
Fast
I got
upon my
the
wall.
double meaning of fast, like solidly on there, and fast as quickly.
I love that. I love that.
Thank you.
I've seen you a couple times at your shows at Artichoke, and I'm in awe of your guitar playing. So I wanted to
heck.
ask you about your process for practice and honing your skill, because obviously you've been playing for a while and you've got a good approach to it. So talk to us about
Thank you.
that.
Well, once I've written something, I think I keep trying to refine it. And every time I play it, I'm looking for maybe a way to make it more clear what I'm trying to say, or a melody I'm trying to get out. And after that, it's more like just practice it about 1 billion times, and then your fingers will remember when your mind is distracted while you're playing for people.
How much time do you spend practicing?
Well, I used to just, it was more like how much time was I not practicing. But later in life, I played seriously and was in pursuit of everything till about 30, 32. Then I learned a trade and did something else because I didn't feel like making some of the compromises I felt I would have had to make more money playing music. And I spent about 40 years away from it, really, and just came back a few years ago and started doing it again. And I fell into it. The artichoke was just such a blessing. If you're Hillsborough, Portland, anywhere around here, or Eugene, boy, what a great place. What a great place to play.
Are you saying you hadn't played for 40 years and then started up again?
Well, I wasn't actively performing for
okay.
a very long time. I've always played. I can't not play. It's too much a part of, it's like, have you eaten? Were you breathing today?
How about your influences? If you had to name one or two singer-songwriters that for you were the thing that you said.
So many. I really, try to say one or two. I really couldn't feel comfortable with all the people I'd leave out. But someone mentioned Laura Nero. Oh my gosh, amazing person. Joni Mitchell. I think for a while it was mostly women that I loved the most. And Jesse Winchester is one of my favorites. I love the songs he does. And there's about a million if I had time, and we'd run out the rest of the show, I think.
Thanks for sharing with us, and thanks for those great songs.
My great pleasure. Thank you.
Yes, glad you started that up again. It would be a pity to bury it forever, wouldn't it? Oh my goodness.
Thank you so much.
And now we're going to welcome back Cap Wilhelm-Safian from San Jose, California. I used to live in San Jose, California, but no longer.
Where do you live
And
now?
yeah, and Cap likes to play at the Poorhouse Bistro and at Art Boutique over there. Two great venues.
My shirt here. Got my Art Boutique shirt. I've been wrestling my sound all night, and TK was going to check in and see if the balance was good.
You're coming through good, Cap.
Okay. Wow, that was fun. All right, it's been wonderful listening to everyone. So I've prepared for you an anthem and a screed. It's kind of what I work in, anthems and screeds. This first one I wrote when Ronald Reagan was president, and I was a little 22-year-old, I think. And I was inspired by the people who were starting to rejoin a movement to try and make positive change. This is called Frontiers of Sorrow. I see you dive right down into the river of history. See you stand up proud. You are the master of your destiny. You walk the land. You breathe in deep and you walk the land. And I know that you understand that the dawn lies sleeping in our own hands. I hear you ring the bell in this hour of silence. See you find your will despite the terror and the violence that could bring you down to your knees down upon the ground. But you don't let it drag you down. You take it in and you turn it around. I see you walking out on the frontiers of sorrow. How your young heart aches for your vision of tomorrow. You rise again. Recall your dream, then you rise again. Like the gentle and flowing wind. You bring the hope back to my heart again.
Yeah.
There's a big
Bravo.
sing-along section. I think my guitar was blasting a little, wasn't it? Was the guitar a little hot?
No.
No?
No.
Okay. It was making yellow.
No,
over
you nailed it. You
Okay.
came back in and worked really hard, and you got it on your new computer. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't have it downloaded. That was the trick. I figured out that you need to do that. Okay. Woo! Got to bring coffee into my tech guy from school tomorrow. So this next song, I tend to be inspired to write whenever there's a Republican presidency. So for all the right reasons, I would say. When 45 got elected, ooh, that was a dark day from my point of view. And from the point of view of a lot of my students. And it's a very hard day to go in and teach 8th graders who had been studying the election in detail. But what did happen was a lot of people came out into the streets in the ensuing 4 years. And this is a song for all the people, whether it was the Me Too movement, the Parkland kids, or just the general uprising and resistance. This is called 99 Revolutions Per Minute. Feel free to play along at home. All around the country, all around the town, people standing up 'cause they see what's going down. That asshat in the White House, he was toying with our fate, tearing down our institutions and building walls of hate. Well, the cynics say, let's end this world. I say, why don't we begin it? We could have 99 revolutions per minute, yeah. Well, all around the nation, all around the world, they're yelling, time is up. Every woman, every girl. The boys down at the office, they're shaking in their shoes, erasing all the emails and burying the proof. The lawyers try to hide the truth and say, why don't we reveal it? We could have 99 revolutions per minute. Well, over up in Sandy Hook and down in Parkland too, there's a killer on a rampage, and he's shooting up the school. The leaders shrug, what can be done? They haven't got a clue. I think it's time we vote them out, every NRA too, 'cause Emma's calling bullshit. All your thoughts and prayers won't get it, no. 99 revolutions per minute, 99 revolutions per minute, 99 revolutions per minute, 99 revolutions per minute.
That's the stuff.
Sorry for the curse. Sorry for the cursing.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Love it. Love it.
Thank you very much. I finished writing that song in the aisle at Trader Joe's. I forgot my ATM card, and I was like, I got nothing to do while I'm waiting for my wife. So, anyway, that's that.
Cap, were you political before you became a history teacher, or did you become political?
Yeah. I became political at a very young age. I was adopted by anti-war activists when I went to Jewish summer camp, and those were all my mentors. And by the time I was 16, I was heavily involved in organizing. So I actually haven't done that much of that in the last 4 years, mostly just marching behind other people.
Wow, and now you're going to sing another song for us?
No, I don't have another one, no. That was 2.
That's right. It just went by
That's
so
2.
fast.
That's
Oh my
2.
gosh. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh. You
No, I think
did.
other people
did.
get a turn.
No, wait. You're not off the hook that fast. Dave
Don't
has
just
a
hand me a microphone,
conversation to
Daphne.
have
I
with
won't let it
you.
go. Okay. Let's have a conversation.
Okay, no, you're not off the hook that fast. Okay, I know that you've played in bands over the years.
Mm-hmm.
Share with us a treasured memory of a great night with compadres playing music. Paint the picture for us. Where was it? What was it like? How did it feel? Talk to us.
Santa Cruz, California, 1985-ish. We got booked for New Music Night at the Catalyst, which is the biggest club in, well, other than the Civic, the biggest club in Santa Cruz. And we had a band called Age of Reason. We wanted to be the Clash, but we weren't that good. So it was great. We were well received. The funny part was when we got lit out with the flashlights, that was really dramatic. Our whole rhythm section was gone. They were off elsewhere doing things that I probably shouldn't talk about, but then they came out. It was a great night, though. It was the last night that band played together, unfortunately. People went their separate ways and never put the pieces back together again. But anybody out there wants to have a folk and roll band, I'm up for it.
Folk and roll.
Folk and roll, that's right, folk and roll. So, yeah, that was that.
And if you had to put a name on your greatest hero, folk singer?
That's so hard. I'm going to say Phil Oakes, but it's really hard to not say a bunch of other people at the same time. So
Okay.
You always make me choose one. But yeah, he could write about the topics of the day in a really poetic way and also make a salient point. Sometimes I tend to put too much poetry in it, so that last song was an effort to not put too much poetry into it. I have to stay away from the metaphors. Sometimes they confuse people. So.
And I remember poor old Phil, before he met his demise by his own hand, he had gone, someone talked him into going commercial. He made that album Pleasures of the Harbor, which it wasn't Phil Oakes, and I think it was the beginning of the end for him, really.
Well, he struggled a lot. He
did.
I guess it was manic depression, and he thought the ultimate revolutionary was Che Guevara and Elvis Presley. There's a great picture of him wearing a gold lame suit, and that just kind of symbolized. But I think there's something to be said about more energetic music with a message. That's why my favorite band is The Clash, because they could do that. But it turns out I'm a folk singer, so I could not. I figured it out.
Thanks for sharing. Thanks for being on the show, Cap. Always enjoy
always
your
a pleasure.
Thank you again, Cap. And there's nothing wrong with being a folk singer and just doing it the way you do it. So it's very effective. Hope to see you again. And now I can't believe that the evening has gone by so quickly. We have our last performer, who is Charles Absher from Avondale Estates, Georgia. And Charles says that he likes to play at the Waller's Coffee Shop in Decatur, Georgia. And it recently went live, but during the pandemic, he started a virtual one, and Charles himself hosted it. So there we go. And now you're here with us. So
Yes.
Take us home, Charles.
I tell you what, I am just blown away. There is so much talent that I've heard in the last hour and a half. It's unbelievable. It's really an honor, and I'm very grateful for to be asked to join this. This first song is one that I wrote after reading about the efforts to canonize Mother Teresa. And I read that later in her life she had a separation, if you will, from God, and did not hear him as she did in her younger days. And it got me to thinking that such a religious icon as she was could have doubts and the same type of things that I had rolling through my mind. So that inspired this song. It's called Holy One. Reaching out to the wind, I could not hold to the shore. I could not see the horizon in my soul. I had with me a light, but it was barely a glow. It had been given and abused so long ago. Holy One, are you with me? Holy One, are you there? Holy One, is it you that calls my name? Pride and perjury keep coming between what I perceive as the wind calls out my name. Wherein lies the rebuttal, stoking fires in the night? Rainfall drenches the lowly and the proud. Ticking hours hold no promise, hardy limbs without force carry loads far beyond the bright dawn hour. Holy One, are you with me? Holy One, are you there? Holy One, is it you that calls my name? Pride and perjury keep coming between what I perceive as the wind calls out my name. Answers not, and it cuts a little more from the vine. Silence bears down upon my heart once more. Reality is within and reaches out for the light, light that now seems to be beyond my shore. Holy One, are you with me? Holy One, are you there? Holy One, is it you that calls my name? Pride and perjury keep coming between what I perceive as the wind calls out my name. What I perceive as the wind calls out my name.
Nice.
Oh, beautiful,
Gorgeous.
Charles. How
Thank you.
beautiful.
Thank you. This next song I originally wrote as a prayer for November 3rd, 2020. And it's evolved a little bit since then through the help of some excellent songwriters. Beth Nielsen Chapman is the one person that really helped me with this song. And it's called I Have a Dream, but it's subtitled Wayfaring Stranger Redux. And I have to say that for the longest time I thought redux, R-E-D-U-X, was a French word, and you would pronounce it Rideau or something like that. But I was disabused of that notion by my wife, who said it's not a French word. So redux is the word, I think. So anyway, I have a dream. I am a poor wayfaring stranger, traveling through this world of woe. There is no sickness, toil, or danger in that bright land to which I go. I have a dream where my family will be safe. No violence will they face, gangs and cartels in this place. Freedom's call is ringing loud and clear. South of the border I can hear mighty one assuage my fear. Mighty one, spread thy blessings o'er me. Keep me safe while traveling to the promised land. I have journeyed all these many years now, searching for a home where freedom takes a stand. I have a dream where lynching is a sin, and the colors of my skin judges not the character within. These dusty Delta roads will carry me away. Can I find a better day? Mighty one, show me the way. Mighty one, spread thy blessings o'er me. Keep me safe while traveling to the promised land. I have journeyed lo these many years now, searching for a home where freedom takes a stand. I have a dream where my brethren will thrive, tribal customs kept alive, where my people will survive. Genocide will never come again. Let my prayer rise with the wind. Mighty one, make sorrows end. I have a dream where a never-ending light round the world shining so bright, sparking hopes in fearful nights. In the far-off distance, rumbling in the sky, righteousness is drawing nigh. Mighty one, please hear my cry. Righteousness is drawing nigh. Mighty one, please hear my cry.
Sending us
Very
home with
nice.
a
Very
prayer.
Nice.
Sending us off with a prayer. That's such a perfect last song.
Lovely songs, Charles. Those thoughtful, deep songs. It makes me want to ask, down in Decatur, do you have some open mics where you can deliver a song like that, and with a good audience? You must have some good open mics there. Would that be the case?
Oh yeah, the Waller's open mic at Daphne mentioned. That's a great place to go around here. Yeah, I've also got a Trump song written just after 2016 that I've presented there too, and it has been well received.
Glad to hear about that political persuasion that we both share, and a lot of folk singers do. I know that I did meet a folk singer in San Diego who I found he had written a song called "Abomination." I found out he was a Republican. I said, "There are no Republicans folk singers," but apparently there are.
Good.
But I wanted to ask you, Charles, your early days of playing as a youngster. How old were you when you started to play?
I started playing guitar, I guess, while I was 14 or 15. My dad was a guitar player. He was a country singer, and he also a bluegrass player. And
played in bands, your dad?
Yeah, he did. Mm-hmm.
So you would go to some of those shows? Oh, but those are some good memories.
Yeah, he actually didn't play in bands till after I was out of high school. He usually just stood at his dresser and had his lyrics on top of the dresser, and he would be playing along, standing there next to the dresser. That's what I remember about it. And
so you just got into it kind of naturally. And that was in Georgia. You were in Georgia at the time. You're a native?
No, I'm not a native Georgian, but I've lived here long enough to pass as one. When I was a kid, we moved around quite a bit, and when I was 14 or 15, I guess, we moved to DeKalb County, Georgia, and that's where I've been ever since.
And so when you play at an open mic, what's your process for when you're ready to walk up and play? Everyone who's done this knows that you're sitting there somewhere in a chair or in another room, and you're mentally getting ready to just all of a sudden be on and start playing. Do you have a process for that?
No, I tell you, it's very difficult to play an open mic because it's very difficult to warm up, and it's very difficult to make sure you're in tune unless they just have the perfect circumstances. And so you really have to go up kind of cold, and a lot of times I don't really start rolling, I guess you might say, until I'm halfway through the first song or maybe in the second song. So that's the most difficult thing, and the process is just to understand that's what's going to happen. And I think somebody was talking about mistakes earlier too. And just don't let the mistakes throw you. Even if you start a song off badly, I've done that before, and you can just say, "Oh, wait a minute, I'm going to start that again," and it works. And so people don't really care if you're making mistakes; they care if you're pointing out your mistakes.
So true, so true. Thanks for sharing those songs with us, and thanks for being on the show. We enjoyed your
Thank you.
work.
Thank you, Charles. I loved your songs, and I share that thought about open mics being a very hard place to play because you're just completely cold and you have to, wow everybody in 10 minutes and that's it. I usually take 10 minutes just to, warm up.
Yeah.
But I got to say about starting again, I used to have a teacher who said to me when I'd start again, he says, "Why don't you just do the second time first?" So I don't know how helpful that is.
That makes sense to me.
Yeah. But anyway, thank you for taking us home with that prayer. That was beautiful. Your whole set, everybody, you were all amazing tonight. I love just being here on Sundays and listening to you all. Yes, I think a round of applause for everybody is definitely in order. And now I would like to thank not only the performers, but our audience out in YouTube land for being with us here today.
Yay!
You can see this all over again as many times as you want, and that's really wonderful. I know that people do. Remember to check our website, openmicamerica.com, for links to everyone's work and for information about the next show. And if you love this show as much as we do, or even if you just love it, please help to spread the word. Just tell people that you think might enjoy it to turn it on and watch. Spread some posters. You can download posters from the website. You can even buy t-shirts and wear them. Look, Capo Dave William has a t-shirt hanging in his, And on the website, you can find where to order a t-shirt. So people out there in YouTube land, you can order t-shirts also. We'll be coming to you 3 times a month for now. Check out your local open mics and venues that people mentioned. And our next show is on November 21st with yours truly, Daphne Ramil, as your MC and Capo Dave Williams as our interviewer again. Stay tuned for the full lineup. And now we're all going to wave as our switchboard operator, sound engineer TK, stops the live stream. So goodbye, everyone in YouTube land. It's been